the first time, some of the startling facts about 13 Rue Madeleine are disclosed. This is the story of the men who used it, of other men who penetrated and destroyed it, and of the menace that was created within it. A menace so powerful that right at this moment, the address 13 Rue Madeleine still strikes terror in those who knew its secret. This is the man who gambled his life to enter its doors. This is the girl who felt its terror. This is the man who knew its menacing intrigue. This is the man who died trying to solve its secret. This is the man who plotted against it.
There's an American agent in that house. If he talks, it may cost the lives of a good many American soldiers. Right now, he's undergoing the cruelest tortures the Germans can devise, but he won't talk.
Never let yourself forget that you're dealing with an extremely clever man. Drop your guard for 1 minute, we'll have failed and you may be dead. That's why we're going to do it his way.
His way? What's that?
If he isn't sold, and should in any way suspect that you're on a double mission, if he doesn't make his break and tries to follow you, you're going to shoot him.
In the dark days when the storm of conflict churned the sands of a continent into a swirling fury, here, one man, whose audacity and daring became legend, streaked a saga of cunning and courage across the trackless wastes. Sometimes the hunter, sometimes the hunted. Always the wily commander known to friend and foe alike as the Desert Fox.
The situation requires that the El Alamein position be held to the last man. There is to be no retreat, not so much as 1 millimeter. It must be victory or death. Signed, Adolf Hitler.
All right, now pay attention to such nonsense.
It's an order, Byline. A military order from General Headquarters. A clear, straight, stupid, criminal military order from General Headquarters.
What do you want to do? Double the insanity by obeying it?
And what exactly are you after?
We want to get rid of Hitler and his gang.
Extraordinary. I don't want to get mixed up in this thing. What they do in Berlin is their business, not mine. I'm a soldier. I want you to be very strong, darling. I want you to be very strong, very brave. Do you understand? I've got to go away now, and I won't be back. Do you want me to tell you any more?
There's no way out.
We've got no guns. We can make a break for it.
About to meet two of the dearest, most delightful, and wonderful people it will ever be your pleasure to know. The White Sister, Angela, and her lone companion, Corporal Allison, U.S. Marines, marooned together behind enemy lines on a South Pacific island. A story about two different faiths which sustain and inspire each other through hardship and danger, but told in terms of laughter that stills their fears. A tender human story about two people who have great need of each other.
I was drunk and got scared of me. Run away from me in the rain.
I wasn't running from you. You wouldn't have done me any harm, I knew that. I was running from the truth.
Planned to bypass a lot of these islands on their way to Tokyo. Police has the scuttlebutt.
Scuttle what?
Scuttlebutt, you know, the poop.
Poop?
Like, guys beating their gums, you know, giving out with the rumors.
Oh, yes, rumors, of course. Well, they don't seem to beat their gums on very hopeful poop, do they, Mr. Allison? Mr. Allison?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn myself over to the Japanese.
What kind of talk is that?
Alone, you might be able to survive, but not with me to feed, too.
Now, what's the point of being a nun if we're all alone? Answer me that. Can't, can you? Because there ain't no point. We don't belong to nothing beyond this island. All we got is it and each other. Like Adam and Eve, like we was the first two people on Earth. This is the Garden of Eden.
From director John Huston, the man who gave you The African Queen, Treasure of Sierra Madre, Moby Dick, comes a great cinemascope picture that will be acclaimed and cherished by all. Here is the master of great entertainment at his masterful best. I'm Admiral. The time was May 1941. Britain stood alone. Convoy sinkings were increasing. When Bismarck, the most powerful battleship in the world, broke out into the Atlantic and sank the Hood. Bismarck had to be sunk if Britain was to survive. Winston Churchill gave the order.
I don't care how you do it. You must sink the Bismarck.
This is how it was done.
We gotta sink the Bismarck to the bottom of the sea. We find the German battleship that's making such a fuss.
Officers and men of the Bismarck, this is the fleet commander. I can now tell you that we are going out into the North Atlantic to attack the British convoy system. We are sailing in the largest, the most powerful battleship afloat. They are faster, they are unsinkable, and we are Germans.
The Battle of the North Atlantic was on as battleships and cruisers went after the Bismarck in the greatest sea hunt in history. At the Admiralty's Operation Division, men and their ships were moved like pawns in a ceaseless game of chess, and it was anyone's guess who would call checkmate.
Hey, Commander. Picture up in the Denmark Strait. Bismarck in a heavy cruiser.
Director of Operations was Captain Shepard, a man who'd seen much action and known great personal tragedy.
My son's missing. His plane ran out of fuel. I didn't think it was possible to feel such pain.
You can't avoid pain by fencing yourself off. Sometimes you need the help of other people more than anything else. But you have to let them get close enough to help.
Working alongside him, a young Wren officer who tried to break through the barrier of cold officialdom to the heart of the man.
Thought that surely you must be married or something.
I was just married last year. He was at Dunkirk. He was a rather wonderful man. Not brilliant or dashing or anything like that. It's rather wonderful.
Also starring Carl Moner as Captain Lindemann of the Bismarck. Sink the Bismarck is a shattering emotional film of men and ships that brings back with overwhelming excitement and realism the defeats and the despair. The triumphs and the glory of a naval action that helped to destroy Hitler's Germany.
Has to sink the Bismarck.